In this video, I will show you how to assign a DTT therapy to a student. First, click the student you would like to assign the therapy to. Then click the Add New, and then DTT. Up top here, you can search for the program category that you would like to assign, and then search for the targets you would like to assign to the student. Down here is a list of available targets. I am going to look for matching, and then matching colors, and I will assign red, blue, yellow. Over here on the right is the selected targets. You can disable the baseline by clicking the B next to a target. You can also reorder the targets by using the up and down arrows and remove a target by clicking the X button. On the Fields tab, this is where you can configure which fields are used from these targets. If I scroll down on the left panel, I can see all the steps for each target. I can increase the min fields to 2, and I will not see any of the field of 1s for each target. I can also configure how to train these targets. I can either train from level low to high or train by target. Train by target means that there will only be one baseline for all the field ofs, all the certain fields for each target. This means that the groups will be set up with one baseline of the highest field, and then after, if the student passes, they will not see that target anymore, but if they fail, they will start on the lowest field for that target. The other option is level low to high. Level low to high means that each field will have a baseline associated with it. On the Criteria tab, we can configure certain things for baseline and each field. You can configure how many trials to calculate the goal. You can also configure goal percentage. You can force the baseline to be given until it is mastered. If you do so, you can assign different days and different instructors to a baseline, as well as consecutive sessions. You can also decide to reinforce or not on the baseline. And then for each individual field, you can configure the same settings. The new settings for each field are correct responses to decrease prompt and incorrect responses to increase prompt. This means after 5 correct responses, a less help prompt will be given to the student, and vice versa for incorrect responses to increase the prompt. You can determine what prompts to reinforce, whether or not to reinforce. So you can reinforce all prompts or remembered and faded prompts, or just the least help prompt. You can also configure different days, different instructors, as well as consecutive sessions for each individual field. These settings will be applied to all targets for each individual field. On the Prompts tab, you can configure which prompts will be used in the therapy. You can remove prompts by clicking the X button, and you can also reorder prompts by using the up and down arrows. Down at the bottom here, you can configure how many targets to train at the same time. If I make this 2, I can give a therapy name to the list of targets. But if it's 1, I am allowed to use mixes. Mixes is a mix of all the previous mastered targets. When you're ready, click Add to Path. And here's a list of all the targets that I assigned, including one of the mixes.